Podcast. Cortez Paul is back. I can't even say my own name, man.
Oh,
hey,
damn.
After 3 episodes by myself, welcome back, Mr. Kevin Carter.
Hello.
How was your honeymoon, sir?
It was good. It was good. I actually probably could have called you from on Friday from Mexico, and we could have done a show, but you were still sleeping before we left the port. So,
man, where all did you go, man? You bounced around quite a bit. Mexico.
We went to Cozumel first, and then we went to we were on Cozumel Monday. Well, Sunday we were out to sea. And then Monday we was in Cozumel. Tuesday we was in Belize. Don't go to Belize. That shit fucking sucks. For anybody who's from Belize or listens to the show in Belize, I'm sorry, but I walked around the flea market, and then you couldn't walk out because they had armed guards standing there because of all the stuff that's going on there.
Right. So
you can only go to the flea market unless you were on an excursion, and I wasn't paying for no excursion, so. Yeah, that was bad. Then we went to Mahogany Bay, which was gorgeous. Nice. That was probably the nicest place we went. And they had their own private beach you got to walk into and stuff like that. So that was cool. And then on Thursday, we were in Costa Maya, Mexico, and that's where I got to watch wrestling in a restaurant.
Nice.
It was kind of an outdoor restaurant, but it was still covered and everything. Yeah. And they actually had a wrestling ring in the restaurant. And before we had to go back on the boat, they actually had a luchador wrestling match. So you got to watch a little bit of wrestling. And I said, look, I'm not going back on the boat till I get to see some wrestling.
Oh, man. Dude.
We got to watch the guy jump over the top rope, land on somebody, and knock the people's nachos off their table. Yeah, it was amazing.
Well, hey, man, welcome back, man. Sure you enjoy your time.
It was a good time. It was a good time. Played knockout on Sunday on the boat. Funny part was because you leave the area you leave from is what channels you get on TV. So the local channels are from Port Canaveral. Mm-hmm. So whatever NBA, whatever NFL market you're in, that's who you get to see on the TV. I'll be damned, they didn't have the Jaguars on Sunday, so we got to watch the Jaguar game. I watched the Gator game on my phone Saturday before we took off, and then when the phone stopped working, I called Mom and talked to her, and she gave me play-by-play. And they ended up winning that, so I was fine by that. All a good time. Played knockout on the boat. On the basketball team, wore my Jaguars shirt, and everybody thought I was going to win. And then, much like the Jaguars, I lost.
I'm sure you came close to winning, though, right?
I was in the last 3. I got a bad bounce on the one shot because the one dude was sorry. He couldn't make a 3 to save his life.
Yeah.
But he would have it where he'd miss, and he'd be able to get the rebound real fast.
Ah, got you.
But my shot, I shot it, and it bounced all the way back, and I was like, oh, crap. I was like, he's going to throw up a brick, but he's still going to be able to get the rebound sooner than I am. I tried to knock his ball out, but it didn't work. But I come in third. But I knocked out probably about 7 people.
Wow.
Yeah, because I kept drilling it. It wasn't windy that day. So we were shooting to the non-windy side, so I just kept drilling them.
Oh, okay. See, I knew you were close.
It was me and a dude from North Carolina. We couldn't miss. So he would knock out somebody, and then I'd be like 6 back from him, and then I'd knock out somebody, and then me and him eventually knocked it all the way down to where people were gone.
You kind of ganged up and knocked people out, man. Nice.
That's what it was. He was up front, and I was kind of towards the back, so we were just gradually knocking people out. And then you seen people that kept trying to skip back in line, and I kept knocking them out. I swear I knocked the same dude out like 3 times. I was like, dude, you're out, man. He's like, what do you mean? And I was like, I've done knocked you out 3 times. You threw up a brick. I drained it right in your mouth. Now, please, get off.
Cheaters.
I'm getting tired of doing it.
Oh, that's funny. All right, man. Let's move forward and talk about these new rankings that just dropped. The first college football playoff rankings dropped. And 1 is Ohio State, 2 is LSU, 3 is Alabama, and 4 is Penn State. They all 8-0. Clemson is 9-0 at 5. Georgia 6. Oregon is 7. Utah is 8. Oklahoma is 9, and Florida is 10.
Mm-hmm.
What's your first overall thoughts about these rankings that just dropped?
I think they got it right. Ohio State is playing probably the best football of anybody in the country, minus LSU. I think LSU might be a little bit better because they played some stiffer competition.
Right.
But as far as the top 4 goes, I can't argue with it. You know, people were like, well, Clemson's undefeated, but they haven't played anybody. Like, and their biggest struggle was against North Carolina, where they should have lost that game. And it was, I can't overlook them having that kind of struggle against North Carolina, and then the rest of the year, them just not playing anybody. Like, what's going to be their hardest game? Wake Forest?
Yeah,
the ACC is very down. I know Clemson's still a very good team. It's almost the same team that they returned from last year's national championship, beating the punk out of Alabama.
Yeah,
but it's just right now. I think they got it right. Eventually, probably Clemson will end up in the top 4 because they'll win the ACC. Mm-hmm. But as of right now, who's playing the best ball? I think they got the top 4 right.
Okay, fair enough. Yeah. That's why I said I know Clemson had an argument to be in there, but as Kevin stated, with their schedule and stuff like that, that makes sense. I was looking, I was like, okay, I'm not mad at Penn State being there, but Clemson should definitely have wait, where we're at. But yeah,
because but like they said with this thing, it's a week to week thing.
Yeah.
So it's gonna change every week, and right now, this week they're saying that these are the 4 best teams in the country right now, and I think they got it right.
Okay, fair enough. All right, so let's take a look at last week's schedules and go through some of the games. Did you want to go ahead and talk about the Georgia and Florida game? I know you went to the game, and from what I had saw, because I watched the beginning, but it seemed like Florida had issues running the ball.
Florida had issues doing everything, including to get the referees to make the right calls on reviews. There was just issue after issue after issue, from blowing the 2 timeouts on the first drive because people were wearing the wrong wristbands, to getting a play reviewed that was a first down, and then them saying it's not a first down, and then we having to go for it on 4th, and the guy absolutely mugging our receiver, who they couldn't stop at all unless they were mugging him.
Yeah.
And then to go back to the other play where the ball clearly hit the ground, and they still call it a catch for some odd reason, which I don't know. Blind people could have made that call. It was very frustrating. And then the offense not showing up until the second half, until it was too late. It was just, and Todd Grantham wanting to run zone against Georgia when he should be manning up. If our DBs are that good, you play man.
Right.
I don't care who you're playing against. If you're confident your DBs are that good, you play man and you blitz. Because that's what you do. You play man and you're known for blitzing. All of a sudden, he wanted to go into zone coverage, and they had guys running wide all over the field. The thing with our zone coverage is there's always going to be a tight end or somebody left wide open. Mm-hmm. Because they're not used to playing zone coverage. They're used to playing man up because that's what they're good at. Right. And then when you go into that zone, it just screws everything up. First and second down, we were awesome. Third down, we were absolutely terrible. And that's just the way it went throughout the game. And it was frustrating.
Yeah. From when I saw the highlights, I'm just like, ooh.
Mullen overthinks, and Dan's a great coach. He overthinks himself on short yard play. Mm-hmm. Short yardage play, he just overthinks it. It's 4th and 1. Don't go for it. Don't empty out the backfield. Give them no look of a running play at all whatsoever. and try to throw out. Well, they know what's coming. Then you got to at least give the look that you may try to run the football. But yeah, it was one of those games. I was like, whatever.
Yeah. I looking over the schedule too, it seemed like it was a bunch of blowouts. I mean, the Florida and Georgia game seemed about the closest, and that was kind of sloppy in the beginning. Now, Florida State did, and I'm sure you saw the news, Willie Taggart was relieved of his duties. So your thoughts about him being let go? They just didn't wait till the end of the season? Why now?
Oh, why now is because they got up the money to get rid of his ass.
Mm-hmm.
After that Miami loss, they were like, look, we're calling every booster we can. We're going to raise this money, and we're going to get him out. Because they have to get a jump start on whatever other teams are going to be out there looking for coaches.
Yeah.
And they want to go ahead and get that jump start. Bob Stoops had come. So let's just take that one out of the thing for FSU. Bob Stoops is not walking through that door. So y'all can pray all y'all want to. People are like, well, what about Mike Leach and all these guys? I'm like, if you thought running that Willie Taggart system with the guys you have now is bad, try to run Mike Leach's system with the guys you have right now. You didn't give Willie time to bring in guys. You're not going to give Mike Leach time to bring in guys to run his system either, because he's not going to be able to run it with the guys you got there now. Yeah. So they're going to have to be, but they're wanting to get that jump start. That's why they fired him now.
Yeah.
But Florida State's program is in issues right now. And it all started with Jimbo Fisher. Jimbo Fisher screwed them over when he didn't give a crap his last 2 years there. And they went to Kaputski. Now, Willie Taggart had them going more Kaputski, and they're just on a downward spiral right now. It's going to take them a few years, but they have to find the right coach, and it's going to take them a few years to get back up.
Yeah, I was talking to a FSU fan at work last night, and he was like, yeah, he felt like Taggart didn't get the fair shake because he didn't get his type of players in there, and he feel like they're going to go through this whole cycle again just what Florida went through, try to get these coaches and try to find right fit. So he feel like this is going to be a ongoing thing, and he's probably right. That is whenever you been on top like that, it's going to be at least another like 5 or 6 years to try to find what you want to, the right coach and whatnot. So
they'll go through a couple of coaches.
Yeah.
They went through Taggart. The next guy that'll come in, they'll go through him as well.
Mm-hmm.
And then finally, we're going to try to find that right guy.
He was the guy I was talking to. The guy was upset. He wanted Charlie Strong. He like, I'm surprised we didn't get Charlie Strong. That's the guy I wanted initially.
Charlie, I like Charlie as a coach.
Mm-hmm.
As a head coach, I'm kind of iffy on him.
Yeah.
Defensive coordinator, love the guy.
Oh, yeah.
I would love to see Florida get rid of Grantham and bring Strong back.
Mm-hmm.
But it's one of those things with Charlie bringing him into a spot like FSU, especially when he's going to have to try to recruit Florida and the state of Florida when he doesn't, he don't have that to get some of the recruits that these other schools have been getting.
Uh-huh.
So it's one of those things. I'm iffy on Charlie. I love him as a coach. I just don't know if Florida State will be able to bring in the people that they want to bring in if they have Charlie Strong as their coach. Plus, he's a defensive-minded guy. And everybody in Florida State wants that offense to start rolling.
Yeah. All right. Fair enough. All right. So let's go through some of the ranked games this upcoming week. We'll start with Saturday because there's no ranked games during the week here. So we'll go with you got Ohio State is at home against Maryland.
Yes. Maryland. Yeah.
Number 4 Penn State is at Minnesota. They're number 17.
That'll be a good game. Minnesota really hasn't played nobody yet.
Right.
So this first test on how good we get to see how good Minnesota is.
Oh, yeah. Vanderbilt is on the road against Florida, number 10 Florida.
Oh, thank God we get Vanderbilt now. After that 4 weeks of hell.
Didn't Vanderbilt just beat Missouri? Didn't they beat them?
Yeah. Yeah, they beat Missouri. But we went through that 4 weeks of hell.
Uh-huh.